So this is a pawpaw fruit from the pawpaw tree. This one is underripe, but I just wanted to check the trees because this is one of my foraging spots. This is what a pawpaw looks like.
Another great identifying feature for pawpaw is the smell. When you crush up leaves, they smell like green peppers. But don't go crushing up any leaves you find, because I don't want y'all busting up poison ivy. So like, make sure it at least looks like pawpaw at first. Use all the other identifying features first, then crush it up.
You can see the opposite leaves. These big leaves kind of remind some people of buckeye, but they don't have leaves of 5 like buckeye do that are palmate. And then here's a good way to identify them too. Had a nature guide, another forestry person, a naturalist tell me this, but he said it kind of looks like a paintbrush. It's always very like soft and rubbery. It's another great way to tell it's a pawpaw. And if it's the middle of July or later like it is now, you can look on the trees. This is the pawpaw tree, and you can see the pawpaw fruit forming. Like I said, they're still a little underripe. I guess it'll be about August until they're ripe. And they're always in groves like this, the pawpaw tree. They typically like wet lowlands, from what I've been able to. Here's another pawpaw tree. You can see the veins are usually pretty distinct like that, those little furrows on the leaves.
When ripe, pawpaws will be squishy and sometimes have a yellowish tint. They have an aromatic smell, and their flavor will taste like bananas and mangoes mixed. Some say with passion fruit and citrus, very fruity taste. Pause. Before you gum into one piece of this fruit, we need to talk about pawpaw toxicity. So pawpaw contains a class of chemicals called acetogenins, and one of them is called ananasin, from what I understand, and it is technically neurotoxic in large amounts over a long time. So these are safe to consume in moderate amounts, but you probably shouldn't eat more. Like probably shouldn't eat them in like successive days, just in case. They're still researching it, but the ananasin can technically destroy like cortical neurons or something to do with dopamine. So it could potentially lead to Parkinson's disease. They discovered this by studying soursop fruits in the Caribbean. Most people that drank or ate soursop every day had atypical Parkinson's. I want to say most, like maybe like 30% of the people in the study or something, but that's still a really high number. And they contributed that to the ananasins present in these fruits. So just eating these, like foraging them once a year, just eating a couple, probably not a big deal, but I would limit the eating of your pawpaws to maybe one a day, just in case. And definitely don't eat them year round because they could be contributing to neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and cerebral palsy. So it's definitely something to watch out for.
Invasive Asian or Japanese stilt grass, I think. Yeah, there you go. There's the pawpaws. Looking nice.
So definitely do not eat the skin and seeds, no matter what. The flesh contains lesser amounts of annanasin, but it's still one of the highest annanasin containing fruits. But the science says as long as you don't do it daily for a year, then you shouldn't develop any brain lesions. Eating them occasionally as a recreational fruit should cause no problems, as far as we know so far.
There's about 4 right on that one little bunch. That's nice to see. So here we've got a pawpaw right in plain sight, right on the edge of the forest, so I can give y'all some better pictures and videos. Some of these almost look ripe. I think I could come back in a day or so and they'd be ripe, or like 2 or 3 days, but like these might already be ripe. Not coming off the branch with a mild tug though, they need like a couple more days. Which is disappointing. I was hoping I'd pop up at the right time, but they're still solidly fused to that branch, and I can just tell by how hard they are that they are not ready to pick yet, which is unfortunate because this tree's like right here. I've never seen that many this accessible, but like it happens a lot of places. Just you gotta let the pawpaw trees develop. That's a pawpaw right there. Got my really good video one. It's nice.
Here we're going to do some history and fun facts about the pawpaw. The pawpaw was very important to native indigenous peoples and settlers alike in many different ways. So Lewis and Clark actually survived on pawpaws when they were starving. September 18th, 1806, they wrote that although they were about to run out of food, they were entirely out of provisions, subsisting on pawpaws. That's the direct quote there. But, quotations, they can live very well on the pawpaws, end quotations. And Thomas Jefferson also brought back pawpaws to grow from the wild. And the native people of the East heavily relied on pawpaws, along with persimmons, of course. And those tribes would be the Uchi, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Creeks, and the Catawba. They would actually defend pawpaw patches from wild vegetation. They would clear cut it to make sure that the pawpaw patches succeeded. The pawpaw likes well-drained, deep, fertile bottomland soil, and I would agree with that. And it does also occasionally like hilly upland habitat, but it's in moister, more humid areas still.
The bark is relatively smooth. It does have some notching sometimes, almost like a cherry bark. You see that is the pawpaw bark. And it's a very usually straight and upright tree with a curve at the top, whichever direction it's growing, because it usually grows on forest margins. And you can see the pawpaws coming out of the bottom there. You can see those big leaves and alternate leafing. Big fan leaves. They almost look tropical. It almost looks like a tropical plant. I think it does extend into Central America though. And they'll usually grow in colonies. And there is one other one right there with fruit on it as well.